Hello and welcome to Music with Mason. My name is Mason Fall. You are here joined with me and Kobe Williams and the Fantasy. How are you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good.
You're vibing.
All right. Well, I know from firsthand you guys are originating from Cedar Rapids. Is that right?
Yeah, all three of us.
And do you guys, could you guys describe what kind of music you produce out there? Like, is it reggae? Is it just cover songs? Like, what kind of music would you say your topic falls under?
I would say our genre probably falls a little bit more underneath the alternative or classic rock genre. But we definitely try to add a little bit more of everything. We have some funk in there. We have some alternatives. Try to fit it all, man.
I also know one of your most recent concerts you guys did was at Gabe's Music Venue in Iowa City. How was that?
Yeah. We've actually played Gabe's a few times, and it's probably one of our favorite places to play. The vibes are always good there.
Very cool. I also saw that it was I think a few months ago in October, you guys attended the Iowa Music Awards, but you also were nominated for Cover Band of the Year.
That is correct. Yes.
How was that experience? Just hearing your band name just called out like that.
It was definitely surreal, especially being surrounded by a lot of other people who have their name out there in the scene, and being in the same group as them. So that especially the Pork Tornadoes, they've been around Iowa for a while, and we get to be in the same boat as them. So that was pretty cool for sure. And hopefully we get invited back.
Yeah, I totally agree. Since you were already talking about, being around the Pork Tornadoes because they were also at the Music Awards, did you meet anyone else and just not even there, anyone else during your concerts or on tour that you guys just happen to bump into? Anyone interesting?
No, not really. At the IMAs, we didn't really get to bump into anybody that was kind of in the same scene that we already didn't know. We saw Worst Impressions were there, which we've met them before. Same with Fishbait. We bumped into Pork Tornadoes, but we didn't get to have a full on conversation or anything with them.
Right.
And some of the hip hop artists too. We know some of the hip hop artists, but it was definitely because we don't get to see them a whole lot, especially when we're out because we're much different genre. So it's cool to be around them too, all under the same roof.
Yeah.
Right. So something really interesting. When I first stumbled onto your Instagram page, the first clip I see was Kobe smashing a guitar over a dumpster.
Yeah, man. So I work at Guitar Center, and sometimes we just have instruments we get to throw away, and that just happened to be one of those instruments, man.
Yeah, it was super. I mean, I could tell you were really excited and surprised when that first hit the dumpster, man. How did you guys all meet each other? To start this band?
It was a little interesting how Kobe met Jaden. I was in our past band, War Elephants, that I was in. We were looking for a different drummer, and we had met through a mutual friendship on Tinder. It was pretty awkward.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty awkward.
You can always find that right someone on Tinder.
Oh, yep. And then Ben, I had met in college. We had a couple classes together, but none of us had been hey, let's join a band. And then a year later, when I was looking for new bandmates, I was like, oh my God, this dude I was in class with plays bass. And then I hit him up, and yeah, that's who joined the band first was Ben. And then we had this other dude named Riley, played drums with us for a little while, and then Jaden came along.
Very cool. So, speaking of college, do you guys go to Kirkwood?
None of us go to college anymore. Ben was probably the latest one to be in college, but he did not go back this semester. Yeah.
What did you guys study in your major?
I was studying music. I played the bass, so that was kind of my major, but I didn't really end up pursuing that.
I was a music major as well.
And I never went to college. I don't like homework.
Right. I mean, it's not for everyone.
No, definitely not.
I mean, if you're even thinking about Kurt Cobain, he didn't even like high school either.
Oh yeah, that's true. There's a lot of. It's just crazy, how many big artists are out there that didn't even blimp of like even going to college even for a minute.
I know.
Like, it
And
started out going and then they made it.
I know. Just looking at them now, like they have like Grammys and awards and $1 million mansions just by doing what they love.
Exactly, man. That's kind of where we're at.
So I know you guys been around Iowa a few times, mostly around Cedar Rapids and Iowa City, but is there one place that was like really stuck out that you really like, playing at?
I kind of have like an opposite for that one. We had a show out in Anamosa, on New Year's last year, and it was a cluster, man. It was an experience for sure.
We do like playing at Viking Lounge though in Cedar Rapids. That's like our home bar. We love it.
Yeah.
Right. So, what is the Kobe? I have a question for you. What is the importance of the Viking Lounge?
So we play there probably the most, because it is my family's bar. So my family owns it. My grandma is like the main owner, and my grandpa was the main owner before her, and now my mom owns it. And so it's just a really cool place. The vibes are always so good there, and the people are so nice. It's home. It's really home to play.
Right. Also, Kobe, I wanted to know, where did you learn to sing?
So that's a long story. I started singing probably when I was 12-ish, and that's because I was in choir at my middle school at Taft. And then that kind of just progressed as I went and did show choir in high school and did choir in college and all that stuff.
Right. And you just stuck with it, and you just started up a
band. I've been doing music since middle school, man, and it's been a long ride.
Yeah, that's very cool. So I guess for each of you, from Kobe to Ben and then to Jaden, who inspired you to just pick up an instrument and start singing and start playing?
In terms of probably picking up an instrument and start playing, was probably Jimi Hendrix to actually start picking up an instrument.
Oh,
to start
man.
doing music, though, is completely different. It'd probably be Michael Jackson for actually, like, investing in music when I was, like, 12. Michael Jackson was the man for me.
That would have been awesome if they had a collab together and made a song. But
oh, yeah. That would be a crazy tune right there.
Yeah. And Ben, how about you? Like, who inspired you to, pick up a bass guitar?
Well, in middle school, I was like a huge metalhead, so that kind of inspired me to pick up guitar. And then, like, I picked up bass later for school because I was in jazz band, and I branched out into stuff like funk and other types of rock.
Right. And who was like the main metal bands that you listened to in middle school?
That would be Korn.
Oh yeah, you gotta love Korn.
Nice.
And Jaden, how about you and your drums?
Well, I picked up drums mainly because my dad plays and my grandpa played before him, but I kind of took a lot of time off during like middle school and high school. I never really played until after I graduated high school again. And that was mainly because of the music I was listening to. I listened to like a lot of jazz and like Dave Matthews bands that, have really talented musicians. And it made me realize that these people are putting in lots of time and effort, their whole lives to become the musicians that they are, to hear those tracks. And that's really what hit me is I wanted to do that. I want to be able to have a lasting impression on someone, even if it's just 5 minutes on a song.
Right. I mean, I've never really picked up any drumsticks, but like, how difficult would you say it is compared to other instruments?
It's hard to say because I don't really play many other instruments. I played the keys a little bit when I was in middle school, but I just wasn't too good at the music theory. I think it just depends on how you feel the music. I feel it through the rhythm, and I can count pretty well, and it makes it easy for me. But someone that might have more of a melodic sense of music might choose an instrument like a guitar or the keyboard or even like a saxophone or something. I like all those instruments, but I think the easiest for me to pursue, just based on how I learn things, would be the drums. And they hit the hardest for me. I don't know. When I listen to a song, I really zone out the drums when I listen, and it's fun. Yeah. I think they just give me the most awe moments.
Right. So I'm guessing for all of you, like the band, like do you guys have any concerts coming up soon? Any tours, any gigs you guys are going to be doing?
So we're back actually at the Viking Lounge December 9th. Like I said, that's home. So yeah, we're back there this Saturday. And then January 4th, we're actually joining back up with 28 Days Later and Dirty Blonde for the second time.
Really?
We're
You know,
we're going to be playing at XBK with them. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. I did an interview with 28 Days Later.
Yep.
They were my second band that I interviewed.
Yeah, we just listened to that interview. Yep.
Yeah, what's your opinion on it? How well did I do?
Oh, I thought it was pretty good, man. We kind of made us a little nervous that you might have a Nardwuar moment on us and pull out some random fact that we were not looking forward to or something.
Yeah, I gotta delete a few questions. Oh, but don't worry.
Yeah, don't blame me, man.
I'm not gonna try to, make you feel weird and pull out these random
dude,
facts.
You're good.
Random facts from, your lives and that you don't want people to know about.
Oh, no, go for it, man. We love it.
I'm an open book. I say.
So I know you guys competed at Battle of the Bands of Farm Fresh, and it was the 5th annual one, and you guys won?
Yes. So that one we did win, and we won a spot for the second day. We got to open up the second day of the festival.
Okay, so who was your competition? Like, who did you have to, who else was there?
Funkitude, I remember, was one of them. They're pretty good.
Near Misses was another band that was there. Alex Geiger, Baskers.
Yeah, Alex Geiger he's a local musician from Cedar Rapids. He did a solo bass show, and it was super cool. He did like a loop station thing for it. It was awesome.
Funkitude killed.
Funkitude is probably one of my favorite.
That had me on the edge of my seat for sure.
Right.
But it was fun.
I personally, just to think that you guys just went out there, just had fun, and then you just won just like that. Like, that's just incredible to think about. So
yeah, it was an ultimate shocker moment, man.
I also know you guys played along with Interstellar Cave Dweller.
Yeah.
Was that Moko?
Then yeah, that was Moko. Yeah.
So what was Moko? Like, what was it?
So Moko is a local bar that we have in Cedar Rapids. It's probably one of our smaller venues, but it packs a punch, man. Like, they could probably fit maybe 100 people in it, but they pack in there like sardines, and it gets crazy. And the stage is super small; it could fit a drum kit, and that's about it.
Right.
You have to make it work. But it's really cool to play there because it's super loud. If you like loud music, it's definitely the place to go.
Right. So what would you say your biggest concert so far is, like, attendance-wise?
Oh, that's hard to say. The Battle of the Bands for the Farm Fresh Reggae Festival, we had a good turnout there. Mm-hmm. But I would also even say the festival itself, there was quite a few people there. It was second day, so anyone who had stayed for the whole weekend would have already been there, which was nice. It's like free crowd.
Yeah.
But definitely, I know we had a lot of family come out, and a lot of other people came out too, family, friends, and whatnot, and it was just a good experience.
Right. I'm sure for you guys, like, just having people show up is like really nice, and especially if they, dance along, and they enjoy your music and they ask for autographs and all of that.
Yeah. No, we've only been asked for autographs from like little kids, but it kind of cheers you up a little bit on the inside. I'm not gonna lie.
It's valid regardless.
It's the little things that matter,
Yeah.
So I guess for this category I have up next is kind of like the Nardwuar section.
Yeah.
I want to
see what you got, man.
I want to know if these are true. So, Kobe, were you a lifeguard?
Oh God, yeah, I was a lifeguard, but I'm a horrible swimmer. Make that make sense?
So was it for the Y? Was it just for a pool?
Yeah, so I lifeguarded at the YMCA for about 2 years, and then I worked at Cherry Hill for a summer.
Okay. So I also know I found this on your Instagram page. So do you do solos at food truck stops?
So it's not for food truck stops. So I've only done a couple of solo shows on an acoustic. Ben's actually joined me for a couple of them as well. That's to play bass. But those are like acoustic shows that I've done at like Spinal Tap or some other like local bar, and they usually will set up a food truck with it. But yeah, I do a lot. I do a couple of those.
Okay. So for Benjamin, I have a question. Do you make your own beats that are like FDM?
Yes, I do make everything myself.
So like, how does that go in? I know you add your own bass lines into some of them, and I know that you can be really creative with how you explode, like you show emotion into like the beats and how you describe them on your Instagram post. What would you say like is more of an adventure for you, making beats or playing the bass?
Well, I kind of like am more interested in production, but like I would say bass is like my main instrument, and they kind of go hand in hand because like I mean you use those skills, they kind of overlap.
I also noticed in one of the videos you have a Gibby sticker from iCarly.
Oh yeah, that was way back in high school.
You watched iCarly just like all the other normal teenagers back then?
Yeah, I was definitely a normal teenager.
So, do you think we're going to be seeing an FDM beat as an introduction for one of your future songs?
Oh, that's a good idea.
That would be interesting.
You might have sparked something.
You might have sparked an idea there, my man.
Hey, you never know, man. I mean, put it all in there. Mix it up, make it interesting.
Totally.
So, Jaden, I also saw in your Facebook page that do you work at Hy-Vee?
Yeah.
How
I do.
I want you to tell you this. I used to work at Hy-Vee back in Bettendorf in the Quad Cities.
Oh.
What was your position?
Well, I still work there. I'm a full-time player, and currently I'm an assistant wine and spirits manager.
Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, it pays my bills. I'm not gonna like bash on my employer, but like there are days that aren't the best. But I think you'll find that everywhere.
Oh yeah, I can totally relate to that. Some days there'll be a whole bunch of customers and you gotta deal with it, and another day it'll be less packed and you are gonna be bored out of your mind.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the service industry is definitely it's hit or miss. Yeah.
So
especially when I'm over dealing with the wine and spirits, you get a fun crowd.
I mean, has there ever been a fan that recognized you from being a part of a band and saw you working at Hy-Vee?
Yes and no. I would say not a fan, but like I know I've met people, like other musicians that like come through my store that I've met out jamming with. So that's been neat. Like
I know that one lady at Moco.
Oh yeah. There is. I have a regular customer that comes in pretty often, and she was at one of the Moco shows that we were at, and she recognized me. So I guess she knows I'm in a band now. She's never said anything since, but she still comes in pretty often.
Well, that's cool. I mean, do you think Hy-Vee at some point would allow you to put a poster of your band on a wall?
I don't think so.
Because
we're pretty strict.
Yeah, for working at Hy-Vee, they do not like just allow you to put cards for like a local event or anything. You got to pay for it or something. You got to get it approved. Gosh.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Hy-Vee is certainly an interesting grocery store to work at.
Yeah, I mean they're getting bigger now too, so their expectations are changing, which means the work environment will change a little bit, but it's all a matter of time before everything falls into place and it'll be back to its old self again.
Right. I also noticed, Jaden, are you a football fan?
Honestly,
not American football, but soccer.
Yes, I see. Yes, I do like English football or soccer, as we call it here in the States.
Because in one of your posts, you wore a Nigerian Football Federation shirt.
Yes, that was actually at our the reggae festival. I did wear a Nigerian Federation soccer jersey. I like their kits, especially their home kits. They're one of the only national countries that I know that like have that unique vibe about their kits, and I also think it's pretty close to like their traditional clothing, which I think is cool because I don't think a lot of countries bring their traditional culture into like their sports all the time. So I also like that about them. And it's just a sweet jersey. And it's green. Reggae vibes.
Right, right. So I also know you guys released your single "Wicked." How is that doing right now?
Oh, it's kind of meh, pretty okay, not too bad. No complaints. I mean, even 10 plays to us is still a lot. I mean, we're not going to complain at all. So
Right.
just to have music out is a huge plus, man. And we didn't think we'd be that far a year into being a band.
Speaking of which, how did you guys end up meeting Michael Bearclair?
So that one would be me, Kobe. I was playing a gig with my old band, and he had walked into the bar, Viking Lounge, of course, as it always is. And he kind of just asked me if he wanted, if I would come out and come like work for him as like a grunt musician, like cutting some tracks for him on some stuff he needed work on, or just like rearranging chords at his studio. He's helped me a lot as a musician and as a band. He's produced some really cool ideas for us and helped us a lot of steps of the way, man. We would be probably 15 steps back if it wasn't for Michael Bearclair.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see that you had a contact to go to, and so he could help you out and support you. So,
oh yeah, we're in good hands with him, man.
So I know the reason why I asked why you guys might have played reggae is because of your logo. I noticed your logo was it's an interesting design. It reminds me of like the 70s, hippie bands that played back then. Who designed that logo?
So that one would be designed by Sean Weber. He's a family friend of ours. He's dating my mom, actually. Sick. But he does all of our show posters, and he did all of our logos that we use as stickers, as well as our banner as well.
Right. So
yeah,
I mean, it's just really interesting because it looks like it just looks super 70s nostalgic. Is there a reason why you guys wanted it to look that way, or was there like another design you wanted?
I think the colorway of it was something that we always wanted to go with, especially like that brown, like Olympic, like white. It looked like kind of stained almost. I almost always wanted to go with that as like a background color. The font just kind of just came from Sean. He just one day just showed up with that font package and showed it to me, and I was like, yeah, that's so cool. Because I kind of gave him an idea of going with like the posters in like the 60s and 70s, like the Monterey Pop Festival, where like the words are super like warbly and super weird looking. And so I wanted something kind of along those lines, but still legible. And I think he hit it right on the mark.
Right. So I think we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. This is one question I've asked everyone so far. Is there anything you want to say to the young aspiring musicians out there who are having a rough start and they really want to make it work? Is there anything you want to say to them right now?
Just keep grinding. Like,
yes.
You gotta, I mean, it's a lot of people, I think, speculate that, and we aren't really ones to talk because we're not all the way there yet, but I definitely see around musicians that do it full time that it's a lot more work than just working a 9 to 5, 5 days a week. Like, it's more than 40 hours a week. You really got to put your all into it, and if you really want something out of it, you have to respect it. And be patient though at the same time.
Yeah, patience is key.
Because it's a long ride, but it's worth it. You got to give it your all, and you got to be really like committed to it. Because it's even hard for me sometimes. This is Jaden speaking as the drummer. Like just to find time to practice, because you try and balance your work schedule, your social life, and everything. But what you got to think about what really matters to you at the end of the day. And to me, it's my music, so I should be putting that before some other things. Not everything, but I try and make it a priority. And I think if you really want to get there, you should do the same.
I'd have to do the same thing with Jaden. Is finding priorities and lining those up and making sure those are in line is probably a really key step. And especially at that younger stage, like say if you're 14 and you kind of know music is what you want to do, then you should really strap in and start going, because that's the perfect time to do it.
It's getting a head start. It's better to start early than to wait until it's too late and then have regrets.
Yeah, because I didn't start playing guitar until I was 18, but I wanted to when I was like 14. And so.
I mean, the grind set never stops.
Yep.
So I guess there's one more question. Do you guys, like, I know the band is just like kind of starting, you've already done a few gigs. Is there any chance you guys see yourselves playing outside of Iowa in the future?
Yeah, I think we actually do. I think we have at least one gig.
We had one lined up
Yeah.
in Wisconsin, but there was a falling out with the location, with the venue.
They closed.
Yeah, I think it was just poor management, and they're just not a thing anymore. So they did reference us to other venues in the area, but we've been kind of busy getting our stuff back home, so we really haven't been able to branch out into, but we want to.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I would totally like to see you guys heading down here to the Quad Cities because we have a nice little. I mean, I'm currently in Fort Dodge for college right now, but if you guys go down to my hometown in the Quad Cities and you go to Rock Island, you will totally be able. You will totally be able to see this awesome abandoned church that they use venues for. It's amazing. You guys should totally check it out.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah.
Yeah, I played the Raccoon Motel before, and I think that's probably the closest I've been to the Quad Cities.
Oh yeah, the Raccoon Motel. Yeah.
Yeah, I played there before, and that place was really a vibe. That was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, we would totally love you guys coming up here to Fort Dodge or down to my hometown in, Bettendorf, Davenport, wherever it may be. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
I totally see you guys in the future. You guys you have jobs, you have lives you have to deal with, but you're also finding time to come together and play this awesome music that I must say. It's just amazing to see you guys go out there and put your name out there while also maintaining your own priorities.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you. It means a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think this wraps it up, guys. I just want to say thank you guys so much for, taking the time to talk with me. And
yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Once again, I'm going to tell everyone to check you out and post your Instagrams on the YouTube on the description and everything. But thank you guys so much for joining me.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thank you for having us again, dude. That was a blast.
Yeah. We will see you guys next time.
All right. Thank you, man.
Yep.
Have a good one.
You too. And that will do it. Amazing band, can I just say. I know they are just starting up, and I say it all the time, but Kobe Williams and the Fantasy are going to be picking up things very soon. They are going to be getting attention. They are going to be getting more gigs here in the future. An amazing Iowan band. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Mason. You just listened to Music with Mason. And if you liked it, you can hit the subscribe button and you can follow me on Facebook at Mason Fall. And you can also follow the radio program's Facebook page, KICB 881 The Point. And if you want even more than that, you can check out the radio website, 881thepoint.com, and you will be able to listen to our live streams all the time. This will be going on my YouTube page, and you will already be able to see all the amazing interviews I've done so far. Thank you guys so much for checking me out. This is Mason Fall. We will see you guys next time.